Long ago, in the great kingdom of Nello, nestled between vast golden savannas and towering baobab trees, there lived a nobleman named Adisa. He was the wealthiest man in the land, his granaries overflowing with millet and his herds of cattle stretching as far as the eye could see. But for all his riches, he was a man of greed, believing that wealth was the only measure of a person's worth. Adisa had a daughter, Zola, whose beauty was spoken of in every village. She had skin as radiant as the morning sun, eyes like the deep night sky, and a voice as sweet as the song of the honeybird. But what made her truly remarkable was her heart, kind, gentle, and wise beyond her years. Many noblemen and warriors came from distant lands, seeking Zola's hand in marriage. But Adisa had set his heart on marrying her to the richest suitor, for he believed that love without wealth was like a tree without roots, weak and doomed to perish. Among the many suitors was a humble hunter named Keto. He was strong and brave, with a heart as pure as the river's first rain. Though he owned no land and had no cattle, he loved Zola deeply and had won her heart with his kindness. He would bring her the freshest fruits from the forest, weave for her necklaces of beads, and tell her stories of the spirits that roamed the night. One evening, Keto gathered his courage and approached Adisa's grand hut, bowing deeply before the nobleman. "I seek your daughter's hand, great Adisa," he said with steady resolve. "I may not be rich in gold, but my love for Zola is boundless, and I will cherish her like the rarest diamond." Adisa laughed, his voice echoing like thunder. "Love cannot fill a man's belly, nor can it build a strong homestead. What can a poor hunter offer my daughter?" Zola, standing behind the reed curtain of the hut, felt her heart break. She knew her father would never allow her to marry Keto, for in his eyes, love was nothing without wealth. Determined to prove Keto's unworthiness, Adisa devised a cruel test. "Very well," he said, stroking his beard. "If you wish to marry my daughter, you must bring me the most valuable treasure in the land. But beware. You have only 7 days to do so. Fail, and you shall never see Zola again." Keto, though troubled, nodded. "I accept your challenge." As he left the hut, Zola slipped a small charm into his hand, a tiny carved bird made of ivory. "This is for luck," she whispered, her voice trembling. "No matter what happens, my heart is yours." Keto traveled across mountains and rivers, seeking a treasure that would impress Adisa. He met wealthy merchants who offered him rare gems, but he had nothing to trade. He came across wise elders who told him that true wealth lay not in gold but in wisdom, but he feared Adisa would not accept such a thing. On the 6th day, exhausted and defeated, Keto rested beneath the great baobab tree in a distant village. As he sat in silence, an old woman approached, her back bent with age. "Why do you look so troubled, my son?" she asked. Keto told her of Adisa's challenge. The old woman smiled, her eyes twinkling with ancient wisdom. "A rich man may own the land, but a kind man owns the hearts of people. The greatest treasure is not something you can hold, but something you give." Keto suddenly understood. He hurried back to Nello, his heart filled with new hope. On the 7th day, Keto returned to Adisa's hut, holding nothing but the ivory bird Zola had given him. "Where is the treasure you promised?" Adisa demanded. Keto held up the tiny bird. "This was given to me by your daughter. It may seem small, but it carries the greatest wealth of all: love, kindness, and loyalty. Gold and cattle can be stolen, but true love is eternal. This is the most valuable treasure in the land." Adisa scoffed, ready to dismiss Keto, but before he could speak, the village elders who had gathered nodded in agreement. "A man who loves truly will protect and honor his wife more than a man who marries only for wealth," one elder said. "Even the wealthiest man will one day have nothing, but love never fades," said another. Adisa fell silent. He saw the sincerity in Keto's eyes and, for the first time, questioned his own beliefs. Wealth had made him powerful, but had it made him wise? Realizing his mistake, Adisa sighed and looked at his daughter. Zola, do you truly love this man? With tears in her eyes, she nodded. With all my heart. Adisa turned to Keto. You have proven that love is indeed the greatest treasure. You have my blessing. The village erupted in cheers, and soon after, Keto and Zola were wed beneath the sacred baobab tree. Their love became a story told for generations, a lesson that true wealth is not found in gold or cattle but in the depth of one's heart. And so, even today, the elders of Nello say, a rich man may buy a wife, but only love can build a home.